to be here today. I mean, this is one of the few things that get me excited and happy to share with you. This class is basically an introductory class, it's an awareness class. It's just to make you understand what is Lean Six Sigma, what is yellow belt, what is green belt, what is all these things. We're going to lay the foundation of this concept today. And hopefully, if you've got the opportunity and the time, exactly next week, you can join us in class where we'll do the actual certification class. So what are we going to do today? Can you see my screen, right? Am I progressing?
Can you see your screen yet?
You can't.
Ah.
Okay, 1 second.
We can't see your screen.
1 second. Okay.
We can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay. So you can see me now, right? You can see my screen now, right?
Can see your screen now. We can see you.
Okay. Okay. So now what is the course objective for today? We're going to talk about what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. We will now talk about putting the two of them together, the Lean Six Sigma concept. What is that concept? What is that approach? What does it stand for? Then we'll talk about the methodology for improvement. Then later on, we'll complete about the green belt or the yellow belt certification. What does it mean? Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. So if you are a production manager, quality control manager, whatever, and you are making, let's say, bread in a bakery, and this is the weight you are taking every 30 minutes. Your bread is supposed to weigh 3 grams, but this is the weight you are taking every 30 minutes. Should you be concerned? You can unmute yourself and let's talk. If you take your average of weight of your bread, it's supposed to be 3 grams, but this is what you get over time. Would you be concerned? Oh, please don't be quiet on me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you will be concerned.
Yes.
Or if you have something like this, you're supposed to be weight 18 grams, but you are all over. You will be concerned. Why are you going to be concerned? Because your operation is unstable. You are not running consistency. You are consistently. That is what Six Sigma tends to do. That customers, regardless of food or cars or anything that buys product, they want good service. They want good experience, and they want it from those who deliver on time. What if you buy a bottle of drink when they say it is 35 cl, at every particular time you want to find 35 cl? As a manufacturer, if you give 40 cl, you are giving away your product. If you're giving 30 cl, your customers are going to be unhappy. So Six Sigmas, we begin to get into it, is what helps you to eliminate waste, reduce variation, and be consistent all the time. So what are we trying to do? When you have poor quality, regardless of the product you're trying to make, if you have poor quality product, it increases your cost. Your employee morale is down. Your customers are not satisfied, and you put a risk on your business. However, when you have good quality that is consistent, that when a customer says, I know if I buy ABC product, I'm going to enjoy it. What do? You make your product efficient. There is less dependence on QA or QC job. It puts less cost for rework, and have to pay lesser for non-conformance. So there was a study in the US a few years ago, and they sampled 1,006 people, And 80% of them said they consider quality top factor for making purchases. And 68% are willing to pay more for a quality food. So if your product is good, regardless of whatever material you make, and you are consistent and you deliver very well, customers are saying they probably will pay a little more for consistencies. Our customers are saying they're happy to be loyal to your brand. So what is Six Sigma? How does it play involved? It is a vision and a philosophical commitment to consumers that they will get the best product at all times. That is what Six Sigma is all about. It's about making sure that your customers will get the best product at any particular time where they want it. And how do you quantify it? It is a metric that demonstrates quality levels at 99.99997 performance for product and process. We say Six Sigma is also a benchmark of product and process. Yes, capability comparison to best in class. It's a practical application of statistical tools and methods to help us measure and improve our process. Sorry. So, what then is Lean? It's a strategic problem-solving and process improvement strategy that combines the two powerful methodologies that we're talking about. So when you say Lean Six Sigma, what are we talking about? It is putting lean manufacturing together with Six Sigma methodology. So it's a complex or compound approach. And what is lean manufacturing? It's all about eliminating waste or reducing waste. It's about looking for what is not value added in what you do and taking them away. And in Six Sigma, it's taking away whatever causes that variation, whatever causes up and down, taking them all away to have a solid operation. As a food safety auditor, every now and then when I get opportunity to audit food companies, and I go into a facility and I ask them, why are you doing what you're doing? We don't know. They just told us to do it. So we are doing it. And I'm like, why are you doing this? It makes no sense. That is what Lean Six Sigma helps you to do. Helps you to understand what is important and what is not important into your operation. It's about giving you that glasses. Look at me right now. I have to use my glass to see. If I don't use my glass to see, I probably won't see. But when I wear my glass, I see clearly. It's the same thing that Six Sigma helps you to do. It helps you to look into your operation and get an holistic view of what is very important to me to make my product. What are the things I'm spending a lot of time on that makes no value, that the customer is not paying for, and I'm even putting a lot of emphasis. So let's talk about this lean methodology, what it is. Like I said, it's a systematic approach to reduce or eliminate activities that don't add value to your process. Those reports that you have an employee sitting at a desk generating every week and nobody looks at it. What does it do? What's the value in it? That guy that's on the line doing something, I'm like, you can do with or without it. You're incurring overhead. Or that material you are putting into your product that is just wasting money putting into it. That is what lean methodology does. It helps you to sharpen your eyes so that you can look at your operation in an holistic manner, look at your operation in depth and be able to see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So what does lean methodology helps you to do? It helps you to reduce cycle time. And I think this is where a lot of company makes it wrong. I always get so frustrated, especially when you go to fast food restaurants and you order and you stay in line for a long time and there are two employees at the back just laughing. Can somebody relate with me? And I can't you put somebody there, open up one more register. The lesser time people know that they can get in and out of your store, the more customers you get, the more money you make. But you see them just one register open and 3 other registers are open and 2 guys at the back on the phone gisting. I'm like, can't you guys see that you need to reduce your cycle time so that more customers can be in and out? People want fast product. We're in a jet age right now. People want it as fast as they could. Then improving product or service delivery time. You go to a store and you want a particular product and they say, we are out of it, we don't have it, come back next week. That is just not right. You lose your brand identity like that. Your customers want that anytime they want your product, they get to the store and it is available. Lean Six Sigma helps you to identify these things, help you reduce the chance of defects when you make product and it is substandard, or you have to rework, or you have to downgrade, or you have to put on hold. Six Sigma helps you to reduce all of this so that when you make your product all the time, it is what we call the first pass prime, that at every particular time you make that product, it is passing and it's ready for sale. Then it's reducing your inventory levels so that you don't make too much or too little. Sometimes you make so much product that your warehouse is full, and then they run out of code date, they run out of shelf life, and you have to throw them away. Using the concept of Lean Six Sigma helps you to be able to manage your inventory. And lastly, it helps you to optimize your resources for key improvement, among others. So when you put the concept of Six Sigma and lean manufacturing together, put the two of them together, it is a concept where you reduce or eliminate waste. Then on the other side, focusing on prevention of defect and variation to produce a good product. So in lean manufacturing, you are eliminating waste, improving flow. In Six Sigma, you are reducing variation, you are eliminating defect. Together, you put them together and you have a good product that is rich in quality, is cost effective for the company, and it saves time. So lean is about waste. People are not a waste, but oftentimes talents are ascribed to the wrong task. They are wasteful activities. They do not add value. You are putting your talent to areas where they do not need it. You are putting people on tasks that are not needed. Look at the example I gave you. You go to that fast food chain, you want to order your rice and your drink, and there's 3 guys at the microwave, and there's only 1 guy. I'm like, can't you guys see that this is not wrong? This is not right? The best thing to do is the cycle time, get people in and out. So putting people in activities that are more needed than the less one, or you are in a company, you have 1 person, 3 people on the machine, but you only have 1 person in packaging. I'm like, which one is more important? Where do I need more help? So lean is about understanding, where do I put my resources? Where do I put people? How best can I use the employees that I have? How can we eliminate wasteful steps so that people's time and energy are not wasted? So in Lean Six Sigma, we have what we call the 8 waste. The 8 different types of waste where companies just waste resources because they do not know how to manage them. And I'm going to go through them quickly. The first one is transportation, moving of items or information. How do you move raw materials? How do you move product? What's the layout of your environment? Are you in a way where you're just moving product randomly and you have to run to the kitchen there, then you come back and put it here and run to the warehouse? Is there not a way that you can seamlessly arrange your flow where transportation is easy? Then inventory. How do you keep product? How do you run? Do you need to run only 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day or 4 hours a day? How do you keep your inventory? Then motion, just excessive moving around. Just movement, doing nothing. We always say that the presence of motion does not mean that the presence of productivity. But you have employees in the organization, and people are just circling and moving everywhere and not doing nothing. The other type of waste is waiting. People wait for information. They wait for materials. They wait for directions. They wait for this. And like, what are we going to do? We have to wait for GM. What do we want to do? Let's wait for manager. What do we want to do? Let's wait for this. Waiting. How do you eliminate waiting so that people are more productive? Then over processing, doing more work than is necessary. Have you ever bought a product where they put a lot of wrapper on it and you ask them, what is the purpose of this wrapper? 1 wrapper is good enough. But you see them pack. I'm like, this is not needed. Why are you putting this? You're just wasting raw materials. Have you been something like that, where you go into an office and you have like 6 or 7 inspections? I'm like, why am I doing this? Why are you putting this? What's the value? There's none. So over processing or overproduction, doing work before it is needed. Then defect. I go to a store, I buy my product, And when I check the product, I see that it's defective. The weight is not right. The packaging is wrong. It has defect. Those are waste because at that time, the manufacturer is losing money. The consumer is not happy. All those. Then another is skills. When you are not using the right guy for the right job. So these are the 8 big types of waste that we have. So what is Six Sigma not? Six Sigma is not about statistics. No. While there may be some statistics involved, it is not just about statistics. It's about a methodology, a concept, an approach that you can use to improve your system. It's not to be used when solution is known. When you have a problem and you need to fix it right now, that's not Six Sigma. It's just about an incident. Then Six Sigma is not a quality program. Six Sigma is not designed to take over your QMS or whatever program you have. It is just a continuous improvement tool. Then it's not for technical people. It's for everybody who wants to train and sharpen their mind to understand, how do I get better? So, what is the process metrics for success? It is about reliability. It's about reproducibility. It's about repeatability. And I'm going to say this again. For a Six Sigma process to be successful, it has to be reliable. It has to be a system where you are committed to it. It has to be a system where you want to strive for that success. It has to be reliable. Then it has to be reproducibility. You have to do it from one shift to another. You have to be able to do it at all times. It's not a mistake. It's not just when it happens. It has to be a mindset. For Six Sigma to be successful in your facility, you have to go through that paradigm shift. You have to go through that pain of making sure that that is what you want to do. So let's give some history. What happened? How did Lean Six Sigma come about? The aim of the inventors of Six Sigma, like I said, was to improve effectiveness by eliminating defects, or improving efficiency by eliminating delay and waste. I used to give this example a lot when I want to differentiate between effectiveness and efficiency. So as a mom or a dad, in the morning, you have to take care of yourself, prepare your kids, your 10 and 11-year-old kid for school, get breakfast ready, pack lunch for everybody, and leave your house before 7 so you can bridge traffic and get to work by 8. So what you have to do as a mom, to be efficient, you're running late. What you need to do is to teach your 10-year-old and your 11-year-old how to wake up by themselves, how to take their shower by themselves. Doing that, when they learn that, you are being efficient. However, because you're running late, if you have to, and the boys or your kids are not going to take a shower by themselves and they're not going to do well, when you have to do it for them, you're only being effective to save time. So what you need to do is to set up a concept where you are both effective and efficient. While with little supervision, you can get your children to take their shower. You just, hey, boy, do that, do that, do that. While you as the mother, you're just doing the rest. And at the end of the day, you put it together. So for you to be successful with Lean Six Sigma, you have to be both efficient and effective. Then most Six Sigmas, they are successful by incorporating these together. That is why they call the concept Lean Six Sigma. It's about putting the concept of effectiveness and efficiency together with reducing waste, eliminating variation, put it together. That is why we call this methodology Lean Six Sigma. So what's the value in lean manufacturing? Why do you need to run lean? Because it's easier. You reduce frustrations for employees. They work smarter and not harder. But unfortunately, to us as people of color, sometimes we believe working harder is the best. No, you don't have to work hard. What you need to do is to work smart. Then you have better processes, better efficiency, and improved quality. And above all, time, the concept of time. And when, like I said, a fast stage right now, people want what they want, when they want it, how they want it immediately. So faster time to fulfill orders, for the product to be out of the door, time for people to get what they want, time. Nobody likes to go to the bank and wait in line. So which banks could adopt Six Sigma so that people can be in and out? Or hospitals could adopt Six Sigma so that people can be in and out. Our fast food chain should adopt Six Sigma so that people can be in and out. The lesser time people spend in your place, the more they want to come. Then at the end of the day, it's cheaper because you get to understand how many employees do you really need? How many overhead do I want to spend? And things like that. So Six Sigma, what does it do? It is about making sure that at the end of the day, the quality of whatever you are trying to sell, whatever your product is, it is the best. So how does statistics come in? Where does numbers come in? Six Sigma is about monitoring to 3 standard deviations on both sides. And that is where you get that 6 concept. So when you look at the curve, so let's do some numbers here. It's about measuring the defect to 6 standard deviation. So let's give some history. How did the concept of Six Sigma or Lean come about? It actually started in 1986 at Motorola. So we all know the makers of the cell phone and other Motorola electronic equipment. They started it. And they were the first team of professionals to implement Six Sigma. And they came up with the belts, the layers. Then in 2001, Motorola saved 16 billion cumulatively using Six Sigma method across all their locations. In 1995, Jack Welch, he initiated the Six Sigma at GE. Then GE saved 2 billion annually with it. So with companies, many companies do right now, several years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, when I went through my belt process too, I had to do a project that had to return $100,000 to the company with my savings. And if we go through Green Belt, we'll talk about that. But the concept of Six Sigma with the project that most companies are doing right now is that if you're a Green Belt or a Black Belt, you have to complete project all the time. And your project must deliver cost savings or cost improvement to the company. So, like I said, when you put statistics into Six Sigma, it's about understanding, measuring to 3 standard deviations so that you can eliminate defects to 99.99996,997, which we will call it, to the barest level. So this is typically the curve, the percentile curve that we use in statistics to define Six Sigma. If you see to the left, you have 3 standard deviation, and to the right, 3 standard deviation. And with this is Six Sigma, which is where the concept and the name comes from. So why is it important? Why should companies adopt Six Sigma? What's the benefit? What's in there for company? Number one, it helps the company to make more money by improving customer value and effectiveness. So if I know I have a meeting at 2, but I have 15 minutes and I can run in and out of that restaurant to get food, I can do that. So Six Sigma helps you to make more money. Then it focuses on improving quality. Like I said, reducing waste and variation by helping the organization to produce product or services better, faster, and cheaper. It focuses on customer requirement, defect prevention, cycle time reduction, and cost savings. It identifies and eliminates costs which provide no value to customers. This is one of, like I said, one of my pet peeves. When I see people doing things, I'm like, in offices or companies or organizations, I'm like, why are you doing this? Oh, that's how we've always done it. What are you trying to gain from it? We don't know. I've always told these stories. If you've been in my class before, you know that I've got a story. One of my stories is a story of a guy named Joseph. Joseph worked at the railway station for 40 years. And they were having a retirement party for Joseph. And somebody asked Joseph, so what did you do at the railway? Joseph said, I was a dinger. They said, a dinger? What did you do as a dinger? He said, when the railway comes, I'll take my hammer and I will hit every wheel, go around the railway, and I will hit every wheel of the rail, and I'll tell it to go. And somebody said, why did you do that? And Joseph said, I don't know. They never told me. Joseph did a job for 40 years that he had no idea what he was doing. Go back and look into your company. How many Josephs do you have? You got a bunch of people there who are doing jobs that have no idea what they're doing or why they are doing it. With Six Sigma, it helps you to make sure that your employees know what they are doing, why they are doing it, and the importance of what they are doing. So, what is actually value? Why does value come in? What's the importance of value? So, value is what called the non-value added activities. They are those things that cost you to do, but brings no return whatsoever. So if there is something you want to take away from this class today, is to go back and look at your organization, look at your office, look at your factory, look at your warehouse, look at those things that people do, and you ask them, what is it? Look at those long emails you write. I ask, is anybody even reading them? Why do I spend time doing this? Look at those packing, those fancy things that you do, and you act like, say, nobody's ever asked the question, why are we doing this? It's probably got no value. So Lean Six Sigma is about understanding what are those things now that I don't need to do, and then what are the things that I need to start doing more so that I can get more money from my customers. Remember when we started, that survey that I quoted said customers sometimes are willing to pay more money to get more out of you. So Lean Six Sigma helps you to understand what are the things that I need to spend more money on. What areas of my operation do I need to put more people? What aspect of my activities do I need to hire more so that what I can improve my sales, so that people come in and out faster, so that I can get more money? So value is about those things that I need to stop and those things that I need to start or continue doing. But in any process, 80 to 85% of activities, most of the time, are non-value added. So the aim of Lean approach is to identify those processes and use those specific Lean tools that we'll talk about to eliminate or reduce them, thus improving your process efficiency and effectiveness. So, how does Lean Six Sigma work? Lean Six Sigma work by belts, which is what we call them. We've got the white belt or the blue belt, some people call it. Then we've got the yellow belt, we've got the green belt, we've got the black belt, and we also have what we call the master black belt. What is the distinction between all these belts? The yellow belt, as a yellow belt, you understand the basic Lean Six Sigma concept. You know how to report process issues to green belts and black belts, and you can participate in project teams and receive just-in-time training. But when you go to a green belt, these are belts where you can start and manage a Lean Six Sigma project. As a green belt, you have expertise in the whole Six Sigma approach, and you work with a black belt and you provide just-in-time training to others. So as a yellow belt, you've just received a training, but as a green belt, you can actually also lead a project, and you can also train. Then as a black belt, you report to a blaster black belt. You have advanced Lean Six Sigma expertise. Then you function as a coach, a mentor, a teacher, and a project leader for project teams. Then as a master black belt, you, the chief, you're responsible for Lean Six Sigma implementation and culture change. So as green belt, or you act as a change agent for the organization you are a member of and not yourself. You ensure communication is maintained with the groups you represent. You participate in continuous improvement projects. You're familiar with the basic continuous improvement tools, the Lean tools, and the Six Sigma tools. You can assist in project reviews, function in teams between 2 and 8 members. So, green belt, what's a requirement? It's 40 to 160 hours of coursework, participation in at least a Six Sigma project. You have to mentor a green belt colleague, white belt, or yellow belt. then evidence of using project management tools, then be able to show the application of some basic statistics and understanding the lean principles. So what is the tool? What's the vehicle for Lean Six Sigma? Lean Six Sigma walk through a vehicle or a car that we call the demake process. The demake process is the vehicle, that's the motor that drives Lean Six Sigma. Everything we do with Six Sigma is done through this channel. And what is this channel? The channel is the acronym for define. What is the problem? What am I trying to solve? Then your measure. In measuring, you are collecting information. In analyzing, you're solving. In improving is when you're implementing the change. In controlling is when you're trying now to stabilize and make sure it is permanent. And I'm going to run through that in a little bit. So this demake concept is where you implement your Six Sigma methodology. This demake process is how you want to go from Ibadan to Lagos. You have to go through a means of transportation. And this demake is the transportation for you to implement Six Sigma in your operation. And like I said, what does that involve? The first step is to define. That great scientist says a problem identified is half solved. So when you want to implement Six Sigma, the number one thing you want to do is to be able to define, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to achieve? What's my objective? So defining is the first thing you do with the demake. Then you measure. Measure is trying to collect data, get the history, get the background of what is happening, get the idea of what am I trying to do, what is happening. Then you analyze. Analyzing is now trying to solve the problem. Analyzing is trying to put things into perspective. Analyzing is trying to institute changes that you think is going to work. Then you improve. You start noticing changes. Well, how do I get this change that I want? Then you control. In control, what I'm making sure is implementing mistake proofing, making sure that what I have done doesn't relapse, that the changes I'm trying to see, the achievement I'm trying to make is permanent. That is the control. So what are some tools I will use? In Six Sigma, we've got several tools that we use. So in the analyze stage, where we're trying to improve, we use almost one or a combination of all these tools. So when you come to the yellow belt class, we will teach you how to use each one of these tools. How do you use them? When do you use them? And what results do you get when you use any of these tools? So why do you have to learn Six Sigma and why do you have to certify? What benefit does it do when you certify? As either a green belt or a yellow belt, you reduce risk for your organization because you can spot a problem and you can fix it before it becomes a problem. You can increase value in your industry, wherever operation it is, you can increase value. You provide hands-on experience and quality. Anywhere any quality metric is measured, you could use the green belt or the yellow belt. Then you get excellent salary because you provide value. You can negotiate your wages. Then it scopes you to the managerial position because you become a success, a subject matter expert. You become me. So, what are the benefits for you? Most organizations these days now, they are requiring Six Sigma expertise because they are finding value in it. So employees are paying more premium money to have more green belt, yellow belt, master black belt in their organization. So it's good to learn. So let's do a quick recap, quick test. Lean is what? Pick one. You can unmute yourself and talk to me.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
This
evening.
is Oluwato Sakrujala.
Okay.
Okay, for me, it is B, a war on waste.
Great. We said it, the war on waste. It's about reducing waste. It's about reducing waste. Let's try another one. So, Six Sigma is what? Pick one.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ireti Molake.
Okay.
C.
It's C. It's a war on variation. It's an attempt to get consistency all the time. Like I said the other time, that when I buy my Coke in my bottle, I want it to be 35 cl at any particular time. It's about that consequences. So Lean Six Sigma is about reducing waste, eliminating waste, and reducing variation. So I said this every time. What are the three most important characteristics of process metrics? At every process, every operation that you have, you need to have those three things. What are they?
Okay, this is Oluwatosin again.
Yes.
Okay, the three most important characteristics of process metrics are reliability, reproducibility, and repeatability.
It's about reliability, reproducibility, and thank you. Yeah. So when you come to class, we'll break each one of them down and you can see why they are important and how do you uphold them in your operation. So as I begin to round down, good quality is cheap. It is poor quality that is expensive. If you have a good quality process that is effective, that is efficient, that is consistent, that is constant, it's easy to manage. It is when you have chaos, that's when you spend more money. So for you to be consistent, you need to start thinking of going lean and understanding Six Sigma in your operation. That is why